These events provide a platform for people to either gain or lose credibility and trust.
Hello everyone. Welcome in the seventh episode of 21 Minute Pharma. It's powered by Game of Pharma. And today we have with us a very special guest, Ariel Smith. She serves as president of life sciences at Event Cadence and having very technology advancement and having the expertise of pharmaceutical. So welcome on the show, Ariel.
Thank you. Thank you, Lukesh. Thanks for having me.
So, uh, life sciences is the industry. I think when I talk like lot of pharmaceutical leaders also, like most of them is due like just came into this field, not about like they plan this thing, but it's just the serendipity it happened. Okay, so for you, like now you are in this industry like for a while now, right? So what drew you to this field, pharmaceutical life sciences?
Me Yeah, it's always an interesting question to hear people answer. Okay, so for me, I had, a somewhat, not somewhat, a pretty tragic experience early in my life. I lost my mom when I was 18. I lost her to complications of cancer, and I mean, that really put me just on this journey of medicine. I was in this place in my life where I'm like, this can't happen. I don't want this to happen to people. It was this whole idea where um she got a very rare blood disease from either the chemotherapy or the radiation, maybe. But the point is that the blood disease, the blood disorder was not caught. And if it would have been caught, it very likely could have been treated, and that's where, like, I was very hung up, especially, in my early 20s about that. So, that put me down, a medical path, and was always interested in the sciences, I should also say that. Arts, music, I was very, very, keen on that throughout middle school, throughout high school. So, anyway, that led me to wanting to study medicine, and, this then brings me to a Starbucks one day. I was studying for my MCAT, and this man approached me, saw all the scattered MCAT books, on this tiny little Starbucks table, and he really just took a shot in the dark. And he basically said, "I work for this company. It is a medcom agency. We, are developing a pretty like cutting edge software for pharmaceutical companies, specifically to train and educate medical reps on therapies and devices and all of this." And um, I was intrigued. And he's like, "Do you want to come into the city?" The company at the time was based in Manhattan. I said yes. I went in. I kind of shadowed. I did the whole thing, and I did not look back. I just decided that, you know what? I'm good. I'm good on medicine. I don't need to necessarily put myself on that path to be happy and feel fulfilled, still doing something in the medicine world or in the pharmaceutical space. Um and that was really it. I mean, I that was over a decade ago at this point, and I've since, had a lot of different, opportunities within the life sciences, healthcare, space. But for me personally, it fills, it scratches that itch, if you will, for having enough like medical, opportunity in my life, coupled with still being able to have a lot of creative, autonomy and, just, independence within, more of a technology space.
Like it's really interesting to hear your story, but yeah, I just want to like pharma and life sciences, the space, okay, where the medical congresses, right? Medical congresses, CMEs are the focal point of any marketing campaign that can be planned for any pharmaceutical product, any biotech product, right? And we all know that it's their main strategy is to engage HCPs and empower them with the medical educations and about their product as well. Okay, the branding stuff and all. So why so now we are living in this technology era, right? So and these marketing channels, okay, are like from last 50 100 years are there. So do you feel that these are still relevant, and why they are still relevant for an pharma and biotech industry?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm happy that they are because it very much keeps me in a job. But I really do think that there are three reasons. The first and probably most obvious is just the direct and personal engagement that you get at these shows. Human connection is like so nuanced. It's so layered, right? So, but for me, let's boil all that down. For me, these events provide a platform for people to either gain or lose credibility and trust. All right. So by being in person, asking detailed questions, clarifying uncertainties, and then just seeing how people respond to those conversations, that's what matters and that's what's part of building a work relationship. So, digital meeting platforms are great for convenience. I mean, clearly you and I are able to have this conversation right now because of a digital meeting platform. But, truly nothing can replace the nuanced understanding of being in person and having a conversation, at least not yet. Number 2, learning in context and knowledge sharing. So similar theme here to number 1, just being that it's, layered. It if you were to take any topic that I'm about to spew off and silo it and put it in a digital space, it could still be really effective, right? But when you build an environment that connects clinical data, that connects patient outcomes, and that connects real world applications, it becomes much clearer how those advances can integrate into an HCP's practice. So, something that the digital world just cannot mimic is the tactile reality of our world. Right? It's why there's so much money being dumped into VR right now. So not only are you able to discuss the data and the outcomes, but you're able to touch and move and manipulate, the applications in which to that, in that response. And then number 3, showcasing pharma's role in all of this, right? Their role in advancing science. So these events, they allow pharma companies to demonstrate their commitment to the scientific progress and the patients, right? So it's their moment for them to not just be the provider of a product, but really show up as a collaborator in shaping the future. So those would be my 3 reasons.
I agree to you on all of your points, and I just want to add that they are still effective. It's because of the first, I think the HCPs also wanted a trusted brand, right? So where they can really see the scientific expertise of any of the ingredient or the product, right? And these kind of channels helps them to build that trust on that brand, right? And then second thing, for pharma space, it's really good to position themselves in this competitive landscape, right? Because now market is really competitive, and then when you leverage those of the channels where uh, you are not doing any push kind of sales, but it's a kind of like informative engagement that you can say, that makes sense there, right? So yeah, that's there. So like from the like your point of view, we all know, and we all also know that these channels like medical congresses and CMEs are really effective channels, right? In today's world as well. But as you mentioned, that companies are putting their monies into these digital tools as well as of now, right? And these digital tools are just not have to replace these traditional, but having their impact on traditional method as well, to increase their impact with the data analytics and the other stuff, right? So what do you feel about like how these tools, like the event cadence also, like increasing the impact of these events?
Yeah. Okay. So this is a tough question to answer because there's so many ways that I could answer it. But our number one core value, our platform core value, is alignment and visibility. So that's kind of the direction that I'll take answering this. Um, you know, one of the largest challenges for an organization is aligning their teams and their departments. It sounds so simple on paper, but it's just in practice, it's sometimes it's impossible. With all the time and the money that they spend planning and executing these shows, why would you not want to optimize it, right? Our platform acts as a unifying hub. That means a lot of different things, but in a nutshell, it's going to help to ensure that everyone is working towards a common purpose. So, for a more tailored example, these large scale congresses, every single minute counts at these things. So our platform, in from one facet, is going to assist with just smooth coordination. When everyone's in sync, things just flow better, right? So the example here is real time room utilization. Who's meeting with who? When are they meeting? What are they talking about? Who's attending the meeting? All those things. This allows organizers to optimize their resources and cut unnecessary costs, ultimately leading to a more efficient show. That's just one tiny example of how the platform can help with that.
Right. On the basis of our conversation, like these insights are really important, right, it's all the games of the insights, right? And for the pharma, for the biotech company, for a life sciences company, uh what matters is most is the HCP insights, right? So what, right, so uh uh, like which event they have attended, right? So to know more about their persona, to know more about their behavior, their interest, right? It's really, really important metrics for a life sciences companies, right? And so how these tools like event cadence are helping a pharma life sciences companies to know more about their HCPs, their KOLs. And the second point is how it's making sense when they create a more personalized strategy, when they launch their new product or create uh, strategies for their existing products.
Awesome. So first of all, thank you because now I get to showcase just a totally new side of our platform. Logistics aside, so I love this question because, frankly, it's a little hot off the press. I want to talk about a case study that we recently wrapped up with HCPs around this exact topic. So, through working with some of our current accounts, we anonymously surveyed, I'll say, around 200 or so HCPs on their experience with meeting with an organization and then how that meeting experience compared to their other meetings with other organizations. And it was so insightful. But by hearing this indirect feedback through the HCPs, it created so many different angles for us to look at things by as well.
Cool. So, if you can just tell us like what will be your most important thing that you just get to know about this user persona study, that what is the exactly that HCP wants, okay? And you felt that yeah, this is something that was totally different from like a digital enabled medical congress or a traditional method medical congress. What was the that for important?
In terms of digital or hybrid or in person, um, and interestingly enough, that question was asked because there are quite a few accounts of ours who incorporate a hybrid approach to some of their meetings. The majority of the feedback, frankly, was in-person meetings, that they prefer in-person meetings. And a large part of it, frankly, not to pat myself on the back, but it's what I said earlier. It's because, you can't really beat sitting across the table and reading body language. That's it's so much harder to do that on a Zoom or on a Teams meeting. Um, But I'll just say this, that was, case study aside, I do think both have their vantage points, just, me personally in the industry. I hope we're able to find a healthy mix of both, frankly. Um, yeah, I mean, I mentioned VR and digital platforms and all of that, and I really feel that COVID was a catalyst for those things, and they're only gonna continue to improve, which means that, only more doors are gonna be open to introduce a more hybrid approach to these types of conferences. So, that's why I don't wanna necessarily have a negative, feeling towards them one way or the other. I do think there's a lot of good that's gonna come from them.
Agree to your points. Like, I also felt that every like channel has their own like points, like pros and cons, right? So that's there. But like I'm in India, right? So what companies right now is exploring is that traditional meetings are there, and they literally want to have word with their KOLs and HCPs face to face, right? To
Yeah.
ask them questions, and HCPs also want that whoever is uh, like experts are there to have word with them physically, right? Yeah, but uh, what what makes these traditional meetings apart in nowadays is the digital enablement into that, right? So
Totally.
the polls, one of them, right, to go to make their experience more impactful, right? That like sending them notification before every meeting, asking them questions, the app based event engagement, right? Congress
Mhm.
engagement, and then giving them the informative materials also digitally. And we can also engage with them after event things, right? So if you liked, what's your approach, what's the like, what was your best part, on the basis of that you can create a whole new strategy in the next days. I think that that's their, like, this hybrid approach makes sense. So
Exactly. Exactly. We're already there, right? That study that we ran was digital, right? But we're asking all those comprehensive questions to either make tweaks to that setup or, so yes, totally with you.
yeah. So let's make it more fun, this podcast. Like I will ask you some of the rapid fire questions, okay? And you need to just
Sure.
give them in the one sentence, or like less than 7 to 8 words, okay? Those answers. So what's the one thing that you absolutely can't survive an event without?
Um, a water bottle. A water. You gotta stay hydrated at these things, and sometimes you just forget to drink water. You don't have it with
Right.
you. So yes, a refillable water bottle.
Right. So what's more stressful, organizing a massive medical congress or planning a family vacation with multiple itineraries?
Oh, a family vacation. There's not a doubt. Oh my god, and my family specifically. Yeah, no. I would take planning a medical conference any day of the week over planning a family vacation. And frankly, it's a stress that I know, right? Planning medical is a stress that I know. Planning a trip? No. No. I don't wanna do it. I'd rather need to do that.
Yeah, but yeah, the tools like event cadence makes easy to know HCP insights, but knowing family insights, I think it's hurdle in nowadays also, right?
Oh my yeah, exactly. And a lot scarier, frankly.
Yeah. So if you could create a new feature for event cadence, okay, instantly, with with no limits, okay, what would it be?
Oh, I love this question because honestly, I've been thinking about it forever. A step counter. I love the idea of building in like some type of health step counter tracker. These conferences are at these massive convention centers. People are running around like crazy all day. So if I could somehow gamify that, building a leaderboard to show people like where are they in their step count compared to somebody else? And, like, just make a competition around it. I just think that would be so fun, and it's healthy, too.
Yeah, do agree to your point, and I think I just want to add in this one that if so, there are a lot of booths, right? Whenever these congresses are organized, right? So lot of booths were there, right? So
Mm.
one booth, second booth, right? So if the step count feature will be there, like someone can analyze like on which booth they HCPs has spent more time, right, to
Yep.
looking for the product, and that there I think that engage with those personalized strategies, right?
Yes, right. It could have so many other meanings to it. I love it.
Right,
Yes.
right, cool. So thank you so much, Ariel, for this podcast. Okay, I just want to know like if any parting thoughts were there, just let us know our audience about.
Absolutely. Well, first, thank you again for having me. I will leave your listeners with this. We love chatting about the platform, but also the future of the platform. If anything that I said today, gets creative juices flowing or, just thoughts in general, please reach out. We love having those brainstorming creative conversations with anybody because it only makes us better. It only helps us to grow. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ariel, for this podcast. I think I literally learn more about these medical congresses and how event cadence is giving more impacts to these medical events, right? So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye bye.